Good Monday evening, everybody. This is Stephen Ray, aka Stingray, and we are zoomed in here over the central portion of Mississippi, as we currently have a severe thunderstorm warning that is just off to the southwest of Philadelphia, Mississippi. And the reason that I'm doing this is because this is one of the first rounds of severe storms that are potential severe storms that we're going to have from right now all the way through Wednesday into Wednesday night. Now, in just a second, I'm going to give you a play-by-play and go through all of the regions in the southeast and give you guys what's going to happen between now and evening. But for right now, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that is just off to the northeast of the Metro Jackson, moving towards the cities of Walnut Grove, Standing Pines, Carthage, and Philadelphia, Mississippi. And there is a severe thunderstorm warning. The polygon box, this yellow box that you see right here, is a severe thunderstorm warning, and this severe thunderstorm warning goes for another 23 minutes, 7:45. Okay, so that is the reason that I wanted to bring on this. Now, real quick, let me take you up here and tell you that there is a storm, and well, actually, the storm has dissipated. The warning has been canceled. It was just off to the west of Columbia, Missouri. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to stop this for a second, and your screen is going to go dark while I switch over to the... Okay, all right, so I showed you just a second ago that we had a isolated severe storm near the city of Jackson, Mississippi. For tomorrow, from now until Wednesday evening, there are multiple threats of severe storms. Now, if you are in central Mississippi for the day tomorrow in the afternoon from 1 p.m. until 8 p.m., there is a marginal risk of severe storms, which means there is the possibility of a few isolated storms like the one I just showed you around Jackson that could potentially be pop up. They could have damaging winds with them, hail, and a tornado cannot be ruled out. Now, that, of course, is over in Mississippi. The same applies for tomorrow from noon to 10 p.m. for Alabama. And if you are basically from Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Gadsden, Anniston, and basically along the 2059 corridor and points off to the southeast, you have a marginal risk storms for tomorrow, noon to 10 p.m., damaging winds upwards of 60, a brief tornado, and quarter-sized hail. Now, the main threat and the main system comes in here on Wednesday. And as you can see, there is a area from basically Little Rock, Arkansas, all the way down to the Alabama-Florida border under an enhanced risk of seeing severe storms. That does include Jackson, Mississippi, Natchez, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, Tupelo, Oxford, Mississippi, Columbus, Starkville, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Hamilton, Huntsville, Montgomery, Auburn, Opelika, Phoenix City, all the way down to the panhandle of Florida. And so this is going to be a significant severe weather potential Wednesday into Wednesday night, and even to the day on Thursday as you get over here towards Atlanta, Athens, and into the Carolinas. Now, what does an enhanced risk of severe storms? It means several severe storms will be likely and produce very large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. We experience an enhanced risk once or twice per year. And then, of course, I would not be surprised by the time we get to tomorrow for the Storm Prediction Center to place a small portion of the enhanced risk under what would be a 4 out of 5 confidence, a moderate risk, because the parameters are going off the charts on this one. Now, I will get into the details finer here in just a minute, but I do believe that we will have a moderate risk issued by tomorrow from the Storm Prediction Center on this severe weather update. Now, let's go to Wednesday. All right, so this is from the National Weather Service in Jackson. The National Weather Service in Jackson basically goes from the cities of Cleveland, Mississippi, all the way down to the Pine Belt, to Brookhaven, Natchez, Mississippi, Hattiesburg, and Pearl, Mississippi. Okay, so if you guys, looking right here, if you guys are in the orange shade, the enhanced risk, severe storms are likely, damaging wind gusts, hail up to the size of golf balls or larger. Now, here's the most important part. Tornadoes likely, and some strong tornadoes are possible. Now, strong tornadoes, unfortunately, EF3s and EF4s. And those are the ones like, we've seen in years past with the Yazoo City tornado, the tornado last Easter that went through the Pine Belt area of Mississippi. Those are the long track damaging tornadoes. That is why this has to be, you have to pay very close attention to the weather if you live within this shade tomorrow for Wednesday. If you are basically from Little Rock all the way down to just north of Mobile and the Florida Panhandle, that is a good portion of Mississippi and Alabama, you have to stay abreast of the latest weather information on Wednesday, because this could become very violent in a short amount of time during the day on Wednesday. Now, let's go over here to Alabama. If you watched my show tonight, you saw that a portion of East Alabama was in the slight risk. Now, the entire area of the central Alabama, from Hamilton all the way down to Troy and Eufaula, you guys now are in the enhanced risk for golf ball sized hail or larger, damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour, and yes, unfortunately, strong, violent tornadoes, long tracked. And so we're really going to have to watch from the afternoon into the early evening hours for any of these discrete thunderstorms that may actually start and get going. And more of these supercells that happen are the ones that form and could create the larger tornadoes. So there is a very concerning possibility of strong tornadoes across a good portion of Mississippi and Alabama on Wednesday afternoon into the evening hours. And then a line of storms will be moving through probably about 10 o'clock Wednesday night. And then after that line finally passes, severe weather is completely over. Now, if you are in northern Mississippi, Tupelo, Oxford, Memphis, Hernando, even over to Jackson, Tennessee, and places like that, Jonesboro, Arkansas, you guys are also in the threat for a significant severe weather potential Wednesday into Wednesday night. And this is all of the Mid-South. And this is coming from the National Weather Service out of Memphis, Tennessee. Severe storms are expected to move through the Mid-South on Wednesday. All modes of severe weather are expected. So once again, that's wind, hail, damaging tornadoes, and flooding is very possible. Now, the flooding part is probably on the lesser side than the other three. But wind damage, hail, and tornadoes are a very serious possibility from basically, I would say, Little Rock, Arkansas, all the way down to the Alabama-Florida panhandle coming up on Wednesday. And one more stop. If you are down here in South Alabama, National Weather Service out of Mobile/Pensacola. If you are down here along the immediate coast, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Pensacola, Destin, Panama City, you guys are in the slight risk area. You go north of I-10, you go to places like, Creola, Bay Minette, Bruton, Andalusia, Greenville, Tennesaw, and places like that, Camden, Grove Hill, Butler. You guys are in the enhanced risk for a strong tornado possible, damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour and large hail up to the size of golf balls. Now, as we get into the day tomorrow, we can kind of go on ahead and fine-tune everything, a assessment of the placement and times of the actual severe storms when they come, and if we're going to see any supercells or not, and if we're going to have anything that is going to block the inflow. But for right now, there is an enhanced risk, and this will probably be upgraded to a moderate risk by the time this time tomorrow, possibly into the early morning hours. Now, let me just go ahead and say this right now. A lot of people want to know, point blank, is this going to be anything like April 27th, 2011? Because that was a red letter day across a good portion of the Southeast. Let me say this. On a regional level, no, this will not be anything like April 27th. However, when you have local forecast offices saying strong, violent tornadoes are possible, there is the potential for a small section on Wednesday to have something similar to an April 27th. Let's say this. Let's say that a strong tornado, an EF3 or an EF4, comes down your street, your town, or over your house. Then automatically that becomes your April 27th, okay? So that's why you have to pay attention to the latest weather information on Wednesday, because yes, there are the possibility of strong, violent tornadoes possible on Wednesday for a good portion of Mississippi and a good portion of Alabama. I'm not saying that to scare you guys, but I want you guys to be prepared in case one happens to come near your area. Right now, where we are in the weather community, we cannot necessarily tell you that right now at 6 o'clock on Wednesday, there will be a tornado going through Tuscaloosa. We are not that advanced yet. However, we can tell you that the parameters are going up so that there is the possibility of a tornado within this zone. And the zone pretty much goes from Little Rock, Arkansas, all the way down to just north of Pensacola, Florida. So that is a good portion of Mississippi, a large chunk of Alabama that need to be weather aware on Wednesday. You also need to be weather aware just in case the outside chance of a severe storm starting now through Thursday morning. Because tomorrow we could have some afternoon pop-up thunderstorms, and the atmosphere is very volatile right now. So that any storm that does develop could become severe pretty quick. So that is the deal now. So once again, for your Tuesday, isolated severe storms are possible. This is a marginal risk, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. if you are in Mississippi in the green shaded area, basically from Cleveland, Mississippi, and along the Highway 82 corridor all the way down to Mississippi. Same goes over here in Alabama. If you are basically from Tuscaloosa and Jasper points off to the south and east, for tomorrow, noon to 10 p.m., there is a possibility of an isolated severe storm, damaging winds, brief tornado, quarter-sized hail, noon to 10 p.m. And then the main show comes on Wednesday. Now, I hope you guys will pay attention to the weather on Wednesday, because this is one of the most significant ones that we've had this year. And you know, this is our primary tornado season. You know, the southeast where we live, unfortunately, is one of the areas that gets not one but two tornado seasons. This one is the first one. We're starting in the spring, and the other one happens in October, November, and December. So this is starting off a rocky spring. So we haven't had many tornado warnings, tornado watches so far this year, but that is about to change on Wednesday. So let me go over here real quick, and before I go, I tell you what I'm going to do. Let's go just a second. Going back over to the radar just for a second. And I apologize. Give me just a second to pop up the radar. All right. So here is the radar, and we still have that severe storm that is ongoing down here close to Walnut Grove, Mississippi, tracking just off to the south of Philadelphia. And I do note that this storm is trying to hook around on the back side right here. So we're definitely going to have to watch that, because that could easily be that this storm is starting to show signs of rotation. Now, the good news is I'm not seeing any signs of rotation right now off of the Columbus or the Jackson, Mississippi radar. Let me switch over here. Okay, and yes, there is some broad rotation there, but there's nothing really to worry about right now. So once again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning in Walnut Grove coming up here towards the Philadelphia, Mississippi area. So I will continue to watch this one isolated storm across Mississippi, and if anything happens to go tornadic, I will be right back here on social media. Now, I will tell you this: if you're watching me in Philadelphia, Mississippi, or Union, the round circles that you are seeing right here behind the storm, these right here, that is a actual hail core where the storm has actually put down large hail. So this is coming over Walnut Grove right now, and will be pushing off towards the Philadelphia and Tucker and Union, Mississippi, and then potentially getting over here towards the Meridian, Mississippi area. And as we track this on out, this storm would probably come up here towards Utah and Greensboro if it held together. Now, other than that, before I let you guys go, all the weather is quiet. basically over here in West Alabama. But like I said, we've really got to keep our eye on this one lone storm that is over here just west of Philadelphia, Mississippi. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I will be back here. I will continue to watch that storm down there around Philadelphia. If it does not become tornadic, I will not do another update tonight. However, I do intend to do another severe weather update in the morning about 10 a.m. When we see if the Weather Service actually is going to issue a moderate risk. And then I will do another video tomorrow night and then have long-form tornado coverage if need be on the social media sites on Wednesday if the storms become tornadic or nasty. So once again, I will be continuing to watch the storm down here around Philadelphia. And if it does become tornadic, I will be right back here on social media to give you guys the latest information on the weather. Otherwise, have a great rest of your evening. And as always, God bless.